Welcome to Random Select. Please enjoy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mario, and I would like to welcome you into another episode of the Random Select Podcast, the show that's all about thought-provoking thought. And today we're going to get into an extremely divisive subject, very confrontational issue, and that's child support. The unforeseen damage that is caused in our community and in our households. And on today's show, we have David, we have Carlotta, and we have Markia. And today we're going to not waste any time. We're going to jump right into it and talk about this very divisive issue. So, Dave, I'm gonna throw it right to you. How do you see the child support system? I mean, just giving your pure, unfiltered truth about it.
First thing you do is if you notify somebody, everybody should be notified by certified mail. That way you know the person that you're trying to send it to can receive it, and that way they can't miss a court date and the money be automatically taken out their check. I'm gonna say it happened to me. I'm gonna say it happened to me. I also think that they need to figure out a way where they can most definitely figure out if the money is going toward the child or the child needs, i.e. lights, food, whatever, clothes, school, things like that. Not buying stuff for the mother. Buying stuff for the mother is not a child's need. I don't know how they can correct that, but they got to figure out a way to do that. Um, I can't even begin to. I can't begin to tell you. It should be some type of. They can oversee everything going on. It's a government. It's a government agency. So at some point they got to start looking. Everything should be on debit cards if need be, or figure out just a way they can track purchases and then just see where this money is going. We all know all this money that they collect is not going towards the child. It's just not. I mean, like I said, if it's rent, lights, and all the other stuff, I can understand. But people just taking a lot of this money and just abusing it. Like somebody once told me, got their money when they bought a brand new car. It was just that's what you need, that's what you need. But come on, that ain't directly for the child. Just something you wanted. They gotta figure out a way. They gotta figure out a way to monitor these purchases and what they're doing with the cash.
Okay, Carlotta, I'm gonna ask you the same question. How do you feel about child support? I mean, is there things that could be fixed? Is there things that could be tweaked? Tell me what you think should be done.
Um, I agree. I've felt it on both sides, and when I was on the side of the woman with the man and the man giving child support to another woman, I had a strong opinion, and then I had to go on the opposite side and see what that was like. So now I'm neutral where I can understand both sides and I see the faults. I think the system is so caught up into just grabbing money from wherever they can grab it from because I guess that's their profit that they're making also, that they got to do something about the welfare system where as soon as these girls come in and claim that they've never gotten any money and you're putting people in arrears.
All right, let me get you to chime in on this, Makia.
For me, I feel like it does some changes need to be made. I agree with David, and I have a way, but I don't know how effective it's going to be. Mothers need to show receipts for the things that they purchase, whether it is for the child or whether it was from themselves, so that they can make sure that receipts are that mothers are being using the child support for themselves. And then two, it shouldn't matter where the income is coming from. Fathers should be able to, you make a baby, you willing, and you lay down with a female and you make a baby with that female, no matter what kind of income you getting, you should be able to get child support. That mother should be able to get child support. That's my issue now. I can't get child support for my baby father because of the kind of income he gets. And they're not. So for me, it doesn't matter what kind of income you get.
I agree with you 100%, Markel. No matter what type of income the person is making, if he's willing and wants to pay child support, and this is what's been ordered, he should be able to. But let me switch gears real quick. Kalata, from when I first announced that I was doing the child support show, a lot of women left me emails, and one of the biggest complaints they had was that from the time they filed for child support to the time they actually received child support was over a year and a half. That's a long time if you're really in need of the help, if your children are really in need of the support. Was your situation anything like this?
When I filed, I thought they had forgot about me. And so I know how the system is, so I just didn't bother. And a year and a half later, that's when I got a letter from them. 1.5 years later.
First of all, I didn't know it took that long. That's a long time you really need it. But at the same time, like you said, it takes two to tango. I mean, you lay down with the wrong person or the right person, things went wrong. You got to do what you got to do, like you said, and make sure you and your child is good. My mom, she never put child support for me, and Lord knows we struggle. I'm not gonna lie about it. She never put child support for nobody. I think about it, and we struggled. We had our ups and downs, but that's the life. That's the way. That's the path she chose. So you got to make sure you're in a position where you don't need the child support. The child support is like a bonus. If you need the child support, you might be not doing something right anyway. So might want to check that, but it should. I got a partner of mine. She gets child support for her kids, but to her, it ain't. She don't even spend it. Her child support money, half will go to the kids, the other half going in their bank account. She never spends their money because she's in a position where she don't have to. She uses up, she works a lot, got stuff coming in, so she just never uses it. So you might have to redefine. Some people got to look at what they're doing, and I do agree that you should be able to get child support no matter how much money the man making. If you need the money, and vice versa, if it's on the shoe on the other foot, if you get money from the woman, same thing. It's kind of odd, though.
I think child support, the only people that really positively benefit from child support are the lazy ass women that don't want to work. For the women that work, it's hard to get proper money from the system. For the men that are paying child support, a lot of them are getting effed over by the system. For these women, the welfare system is making it bad, where a woman could walk to apply for welfare and she could say, oh, he's never given me $1. And you have a lot of men that have been paying cash to these women all their lives with their kids. And they'll go in there and lie because they figure, if I say I didn't get anything, I'll get my food stamps. I'll get my whatever you're trying to get. Not realizing that you're fucking up the man's life. Because when you walk out with your food stamps and the rest of your welfare, the man has a backlog of money that he owes the system. And they don't care where they get that money from.
See, one of the issues I have with the whole child support system is that if a man, you and the man, and by the woman's own admission, he doesn't know that he's the father of that child, and you go in and you take your DNA test, and if it comes to find out that it's your child, I just don't think, if by her own admission that she didn't know and you didn't know, that you should not be responsible for back child support. Because if you throw the back child support on top of it, along with what you have to currently pay, you put the man in a hole that he won't be able to climb out of for several years. And it has a negative impact on him viewing the woman, viewing the child, a negative impact on how he's living his life with a future person and his future children. It's just a messed up situation all the way around. And I think the women should hold some accountability. I'm talking about the messed up women, because don't get me wrong, child support is needed for the deadbeat dad. Child support is a system that is needed for the deadbeat dad. Let me stress that. But I just think some tweaks definitely need to be done to the system.
My issue is women who get mad for whatever reason with their baby father and want to put him on child support when he's there and taking care of the kids. Get mad because he didn't, for example, just didn't take the trash out when you told him to, and then just support. there needs to be some qualifications and some questions asked on why the female wants to put them on child support. Because, like I said, women are getting mad for dumb reasons and just want to put the baby daddy on child support when the baby daddy is there and doing what he needs to be done. To me, that's not fair for the man.
I know the system is designed to help those that are in need. Those are just not getting the help. But don't it seem like it only benefit the ones that are abusing the system? It only benefit the ones that are not trying to work or aren't trying to do the right thing. It seems like a lot of good people, a lot of good guys, good women are getting washed up, caught up in the net. You know, it only benefits the deadbeat people. You know, it only benefits the woman who wants to sit around and not work. And like I said, there's a lot of good people out there trying to do the right thing when it comes to their kids. But this system, I swear it, anything that comes to where other people have to pay their hard-earned money for, it seems like the system let the people who abuse the system, you know, get away with it. Let it be gross and negligent and just rampantly out of control. How you feel about that, Carlotta?
Yeah, and that's what I was just saying a while ago. It's only benefiting the baby mamas that don't want to work, and the people that they're trying to punish, which is the deadbeat dads. They're not punishing them. All they decide to do is not get a job. The people that have jobs are the ones getting fucked over by the system. You know, if the guy chooses not to work, there's nothing the system can do except just leave them the fuck alone. And that's what it comes down to. You can't get $1 from a man that will work under the table and he's not making an income. You could take away a license, so what? If he's already a lowlife, taking his license won't do anything.
And locking them up ain't gonna work either because the child still ain't getting child support.
Right. So the only people getting punished are the working people. They're the ones, and then they're using all these numbers that are outrageous, and you have people that don't make enough paying too much to the system.
Now, I definitely understand why they do it, but I just think the whole suspending someone's license should be revisited too. At least give them, you know, a couple months before you say, this is what I'm going to do. Instead of just saying, if you don't bring me this certain amount of money down here by Monday, I'm going to suspend your license. Because if you say you want them to pay the money, by suspending their licenses, you take away a whole section of jobs that they can't even remotely apply for. But like I said, I get it. I understand why they do it, to try to limit certain things. But it seems like that move hinders the process more than it helps the process.
But before you even get to the license, what about when they take 3/4 of the check and leave them nothing? I've seen when I was married where my ex, after they take everything, $55 for the week? How do you expect a person to survive off of $50 for the week?
You saying that? I had a guy at my old job. I left my job. I say, dude, go get my check for me. I said, and open it. He said, open your check. I said, open it. It should say 0.
But that's the thing.
He opened it. He said, damn, dude. I said, yeah. It's 0.
Yep. The system do not care. My personal experience was my ex's ex went to the system and said he hasn't given me anything for 10 years. Because I guess she felt as a younger girl at the time, if I go in there and lie, I'll get more welfare, you know. So they decided they're going to go and they want back money for 10 years. He has because no man is sitting there really holding receipts for everything you buy for 10 years. So you have no proof. They're going to say you owe this money.
I got one brother for that. I got a family member. I'm going to say who. I got a family member that had receipts for 7 years. When he went to court the first time, because she tried to get money, he was already giving her $600 a month on his own for 7 years for 2 kids. She went to court, wanted more money. The first judge denied her. Said no, he got all his paperwork intact. He took care of the kids, where he had all the receipts from every time he would pay her money and everything. So she filed again, went to a different judge, and that judge gave her $1,200. So it don't matter if you got all your receipts.
Yeah.
It depends on the judge.
All you got is missing a couple, and they said there's no consistency anyway, and throw them out.
Another issue they need to fix too as well is that if a person's name is on a bank account, say the guy owes for child support. Now, without coming in and doing any investigation, without talking to any people, without just doing your due diligence, they take almost everything that's in that bank account, and that man may not have anything to do with that bank account, but his name is just on it, and they do it with no warning, no forethought, no type of care whatsoever. And I think that's something they definitely need to change. They take almost everything.
Oh, they don't take almost. You're talking to a person that's been through this. They take all of it. They freeze the account. My ex's name was on my account just in case something happened. He has access to my money. We had separate accounts. They went in for that the 10 years of back money. They went into my account because they found his name sitting on my account and seized $8,000. I couldn't even get $1 out of my account. They give $8,000 to his baby mama. Right? I called him up. I said, that's not his money. He don't even own $1 in there. I said, I have 2 kids for him at this moment. And they're younger than that other kid. And they can't get diaper. How are we going to pay for food? We can't even pull any money out their account. It's frozen. They said, I got to prove that it's my money. I don't have no proof because I cashed my check before I deposit cash in the bank. So the check is already in the other bank where that check came from. So I lost my money to that baby mama. So the system is fucked up. All they want to do is get people money and get their cut of it.
That's how they get on the rapper Slim Thug. They later claimed that he was the father of a child, and they froze all his man accounts so they couldn't find him.
and when they freeze it and take it. They just don't freeze it. They take the money out completely, leave you with zero.
His lawyer's fault for him. Go ahead.
I'm new to this because my son is only about to be 1, so I'm kind of new to the system. But for me, child support is not just about the money. Child support to me means taking care of the emotional and social needs and the total well-being of the child. And I think some people are using it as a way not to be there physically for that child. That part, I don't know how that can be fixed. I don't think it can, but it's not fair for the child or whatever party is getting the child support, the financial aspects of it.
Yeah, a lot of men feel betrayed anyway once the system comes in and takes their check. So a lot of them feel, look, you're taking my money. It's amazing how many black men feel that if I pay child support through the system, I'm a good father. And they don't realize you also need to physically be in that child's life. I hear so many guys that I meet, I pay child support. Do you see your child? No, but I pay child support. And that's another problem where they feel if you're pulling money out of my check and you're getting money every week, I'm a good father. You still got a kid that you're not seeing.
A child or a female, a child needs both parents. For me, since I'm raising a son, I can raise him, but I can't teach him how to be a man. I can do what I can, but the
problem is with this
potty training. I can teach him how to potty train, but I can't teach him exactly how to aim, how to really use the bathroom like a man.
The question I ask anybody, like I told my other friend, did you and your father, the baby father, have discussions on how y'all gonna raise the baby, take care of the baby? That's, to me, it's almost like once you go down to child support, it's almost like you slapping the dude in the face. Yeah. Especially guys that be there for the baby anyway, and you still go put him on child support. And then, because once that happens, like for a lot of people, I know for a fact, he still might come around, but you can't ask me for a dime for nothing. I already gave you got money cut out of my check. You can't get not damn dime from me. Because it's almost like a sense of betrayal. Because I know people that, like you said earlier, live with people and put them on child support. We in the same house. And they'll put them on child support. I feel like you might be cheating. Someone put them on child support. What?
They're abusing the system to punish the men.
Yeah. So
I agree with Marquille. It should definitely be more than just about the money. It should be about the father spending some time with the child or the mother spending some time with the child. But the way the system is set up and the way women have gotten to take advantage of some men, you could be paying child support and they'll say that it's not enough and still physically coming to you to ask you to do more and to give out more money, even though they're taking all this money out your check so you can barely live. And they always want more. And I'm not saying that for every woman. I'm saying that the woman who feels that I'm going to try to get him for every dime that he's worth does that, because they have equated their kids to a dollar value. And because you're a guy and you don't want to let your kid down, you feel you got to pay your child support and you got to give her extra money. And they always want more.
Ask for more, yeah. Hey, Lord, no, don't let him get another check. That's the whole other story.
Of the female, because if you already getting child support and the father is already there, and you want to ask for more, baby, you just being greedy. Point. Period.
But that's the problem. The system is set up to let a lot of angry women, they learn how to use the system to punish the men. Because I saw when I was in my old relationship with my ex-husband, the woman would keep going back every couple of months for, cost of living raised. And they would raise the child support because they said, cost of living went up, so he needs to get more. Then she would take him back to court to say the child needs to go to private school. And they just kept raising the money more and more and more until most of his check was gone.
Let me tell you what I learned last month. I went down to Florida, and this I guess a cousin of mine, my brother's side, was dating this girl. This is a girl in the military. This is a female in the military that was dating this girl. She had a baby by this other dude. Baby was sick. So she decided to have the dude give up custody of some other child so she can put the child on her documentation so she can put the baby in the hospital, be on her medical stuff. Health insurance through the military. Her and the girl broke up. Do you know the girl filed for child support and had this chick on child support $900 a month? $900 a month, and that private school made me triggered because she told the judge that she wanted the little girl to go to a private school.
Yep, and just keep raising the money.
Yeah, the girl's on child support $900. She said $918 a month. But she said the only reason she got off of it because she drove to where they live. They live in separate states. So she did a pop-up one day on the girl, and the little girl went in private school, none of the stuff she was claiming. So they went back to court, and she got the whole thing nullified.
All right, with that being said, let me ask this question from a different standpoint, and I'm going to ask you, Carlotta. Now, when it comes to dating a man, when you know he's on child support and you know his income is not what it maybe would be if he wasn't paying child support, does it make you look at him a little different, or do you feel like you're going to tough it out with him? Or how are you looking at him? In the beginning, is it good, or does it get worse over time? I'm just curious to know, as a woman, how does it feel to know that another woman kind of has your household held captive? I mean, let me know.
Yeah. In the beginning, you say, okay, I understand this is what happened. We have to deal with it. But as time go by, fuck it, you can't understand anymore, because when they're taking everything, the first problem is they have to get a second job. And then when they get the second job, then they're hardly around. So you're stressed with everything when it comes to family. And then two, that money that they make, it won't benefit the house, because that's enough to get them to survive and gas up back for the first job, which they don't bring any money from. So it fucks up everything family-wise. It's touching into everything, and it all comes back down to where your significant other at the time is suffering for your child support and your past relationship.
All right, Dave, let me ask you. You're on child support, and when you're dealing with a woman or you're starting to date a woman or going into a relationship, do you sit down and have this conversation with her and let her know that you're on child support, or do you not discuss it, or what's the protocol for that? Because I would imagine at some point a conversation has to be had, correct?
No, I just tell everybody my child support. It is what it is. If you really got, I ain't gonna sit here, like I make enough money now where it still affects me, but it don't affect me as much as it did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in survival mode. I'm not in survival mode. Probably they cut down a couple things, stick up things there. I'm straight. But it it don't affect like it used to. It used to bother her. I mean, back in my old days, my old job, I wasn't making as much as I'm making now. But no, it really depends on it really depends on the job you have. And it determines how effective. But at the same time, though, unfortunately, if you get a good job, you can't let her know you got a good job because she go back and get more money.
You gotta hide.
That's
You
not a
gotta
problem.
hide that second job. And if you have a minimum wage job, you can forget it. You can't date because you can't entertain. You're gonna have to get a woman that
No,
is
you can't.
understanding and stay in the house with you.
Sorry, what I learned is, like I tell everybody I know, if a woman files for child support on you, you make sure you go in there and file for joint custody. And that'll help with some of this stuff they're trying to pull.
Me personally, I would advise everyone that files for child support, whether it be man or woman, to, apply for joint custody. I think it should be mandatory unless the other parent has been proven to be unfit or unworthy or, just not a good parent, where they can not clean or being abusive or something like that. But I think you should have joint custody. That way, child support wouldn't be as high because we'll say doing certain times of the year there with me, with certain times of the year there with her. So I agree with you. Joint custody should be like a mandatory thing. That way we can solve the problem of some of these parents being in the kids' lives, particularly the fathers.
That's why I tell everybody I know now, file for joint custody. Always file for joint custody.
But I had an issue the other day where I had a friend of mine helping me take one of my cars to the mechanic, and they got pulled over for speeding. So I pulled up in front of them to stop. I thought it was just a ticket. Then the person got arrested. Come to find out that the baby mama got mad and went and reported to child support that they weren't paying. They took a warrant out for their arrest in another state. And so when they ran them, that popped up and they got locked up for that. So what it came down to was, you need to give me $5,000 towards a car for your child. And the person said, all I got is $2,000. That's all I can afford to give you. So she got pissed off and went and filed charges. So it's being used as punishment for a lot of fathers that are willing to participate. But if you don't jump quick enough for a lot of the women on this thing, they use it as a way to punish the men.
All right, let me ask this question. I know there's no easy fix, and I know there's no solution that's going to come out tomorrow that's going to benefit everyone and turn it into a perfect system and make everyone happy. But Carlotta, let me ask you, if you had to make a few changes and just had to do something right tomorrow, what would it be?
I think when it comes to the money that they're getting, they got to stop providing so much easy access for the women that don't want to work. And you have to take into consideration the other kids that these people have, the other family. You can't starve the family that's immediately in front of him to give to somebody else. And you're cleaning out people's bank account. That is not fair. I asked the guy on the phone when I was speaking to them. I said, no, you take from me and give to another woman for a kid. I got twins. I have no money for diaper because you seized my bank account. How am I supposed to take care of them? How is that fair? And he's like, well, can't help you. You got to prove it's your money. So they don't really give a damn about the kids. As you said, it's about the money.
They called me one time about my son. I said, what's my son's name? She said, I don't know. I said, well, quit telling me this about child support. Like you keep up my child. You don't know his name, but you call me like you concerned. Don't call me like that. Just be honest about it. You just call to collect money.
All right, Dave, I want to throw this question to you. Now, you did not know that you had a child. You were put on child support, and then they made you collect, made you pay back pay, then made you pay the current pay on top of that. Now, at that particular point, did it make you feel some type of way toward the mother? Or did it make you feel some type of way toward want to be around the child because now the system done screwed you over? Did it make you feel some type of way?
No, I mean, cause like with mine, like I said, I tried. Like he just finally figured it out. Even if I put on child support, I wanted my son with me regardless. Unfortunately, I was young and dumb, ain't know nothing about the system then, so I didn't fight it like I should have. And so it don't make me feel type of way about it. It's just that you got to deal with it took a long time for all the lies she told him about me to get out his head. So it don't make me feel type of way, but the kid will at times, feel like he could be with his britches and start saying stuff to you crazy because of what his mom said. So some type of way, no.
But one of the things that people don't touch on is that a lot of these parents do not tell the kids that the fathers are paying money.
My son only don't see a paying now.
Right, they don't realize that there's a check being cut every week, and so what the moms will do is put the kids on the phone and have them asking for money. Kid is getting disappointed because you don't want to give me this, you don't want to give me that, and the father have to be telling them, ask your mama get a check from me. When I was married, one of the issues that I had was the child never knew that the money was coming in, and then when the child was sent, they would send the child with no good clothes, no good shoes. And so, of course, you have to go shop for everything. And then you'd be like, what are they using the money for? They purposely send the kid with raggedy old stuff so that you will have to spend more money when they already have the money for the stuff they're supposed to buy.
All right, Kalata, let me ask you the same question I asked Dave, except for we're going to flip it around and ask from the woman's point of view, from the woman's side of the coin. Now, if your current boyfriend, husband, or whatever is on child support, and you have to see the child that's coming over to your house, do you feel some type of way about the child? Do you hold a grudge against the child because you say, I can't do anything about the woman that's getting all my husband or boyfriend's money, that's making our household struggle? I can't really do anything about her, but I can be mean to you, or I can, hate against you. How do you feel about that?
No, when I was going through that, I never looked at the kid that way because that kid had no clue. He was young, he had no clue. But it created hell between me and the daddy because that's where the problem was. I had to be the one to go get the sneakers and the clothes and everything because I'm the one trying to stretch the money that we do have left. So it didn't create a problem with the kid because you could see in their face they had no clue. You have enough sense to know the type of woman you're dealing with, because you have experiences with the phone calls and dealing with the arguments and hearing the stuff that's going on. So it doesn't affect the kid. It just affects the relationship with you and the man.
Why is it when it's easier for a single mom to get child support than it is for a single dad to get child support? To me, that makes no sense, because if he's a dad and he had custody of the kids, then the mom should be able to get a dad child support.
Now, to a certain degree, I can understand that most courts and most judges gonna always feel that the mother is the best person for the child to be with. I mean, unless the father just proves that he's just so much, heads and tails above, better than the mother. The courts just naturally, biologically sides with the mothers in most cases. And I understand that to a certain degree, especially depending on where you are. And when you're in the South, in the Bible Belt, and the way church and religion work, children should be with their mother. That's just the way that they see things. And that's a hard stereotype that we as people got to start fighting, because not every man is not, is bad that can't take care of kids. And on the reverse side of that, not every woman has motherly instincts and are good mothers and are the best options for the kids. Not in every case, I mean, mothers are naturally nurturers and take care of us, but not in every case.
Yep. Because I work in child care, and I see some, granted, like I said, I'm a new mom. So, of course, I'm going to make mistakes. And I know every parent, whatever, makes mistakes. Every parent is not perfect. But I be raising my eyebrows at some of these moms and be like, yo, can I just take your kids for like a month? Just for a month. Trust me, they'll be different when you get them back.
All right. With that being said, Kalata, what do you think that child support should be spent on? What do you think? How do you think the funds should be delegated? How do you think it should be used?
Well, when I was on the other side, where I was the new woman and the old woman was killing his check, I used to be like, oh, she gotta just use this on the child and blah blah blah. Now that I'm the one that is trying to get child support in my current relationship, in my current situation, I realize that it's some of that money is for clothes, shoes, but you do have to pay light. Your kids burn more power than you. So it has to be used for daily living bills. And if you live by yourself, you don't realize until you live by yourself how much of a difference children make in utility bills. So I understand you need all that stuff paid with child support. I'm not just going to keep focusing on clothes and shoes anymore because they also create problems. Plus, there's the food. You have to pay for food. But I think the same way they could take certain cards, like my job has a health card that you contribute your own money to, but they tell you that you can only use this card for medical reasons. If you try to use it anywhere else, they will track it down and you have to give the money back. If they could do that with a private job insurance card to help you with your own money that you're contributing, they should be able to do this with child support. You can't go open a nail salon and go do your nails. You can't go buy weave with it. You can't go do luxury stuff with it. You can't go get massages with it. None of that stuff. You should be able to control it the same way you can control other stuff. The same way you can control food stamps and you can't pick up certain kind of cereal. At least I used to be. I don't know how it is now. But if you could control WIC, you should be able to control child support.
I think the same way they can make credit cards recognize what type of terminal that is at, it's the same way they could do like the child support cards. If you go to the beauty salon, it shouldn't scan there because it recognizes at a beauty salon terminal. If it's somewhere that you shouldn't be or something that goes directly to you, it just shouldn't scan. And obviously there's ways around every particular thing and every particular system. People know how to scam it. But I just think the same way they can make a lot of other things recognize each other with the technological advances in today's world, they should be able to do those cards like that. Just certain places, you can't use them, period.
Right. Because when that card come with the money on it, half the people don't care how much was collected. All they know is it's a jackpot. It's like winning the lotto.
Mm-hmm. My son's sister told him last month, I'm paying back child support for my kid. He's 23 now. But he just told me, he called me, he said, do you know? My sister just told me my mama still collect child support for me and her. I said, yeah, I know. He said he had no clue. He said his sister just happened to run across the card, the debit card they get. And realized he was still getting child support. Mama never told her. And this dude right now is facing some time for something he did. He needs a new lawyer because the old lawyer let's say the old lawyer got brought out. New lawyers came in and told him he needs $2,600 more on top of what he already paid. So he went to his mom. Mama told him with a straight face, I ain't getting no money. Oh, well, the child support coming in, but it ain't coming in every month. I told him that's a lie. So like I told, that's his money that she just refused to acknowledge she was even getting.
See, the problem with a lot of this child support system thing is that there's no accountability, there's no due diligence, there's no questions being asked, like Markia alluded to in the first part of the show. A woman can name 5, 6, 7 different type of guys, and she don't even have to have a DNA test or anything like that, and they can start garnishing and taking money out your check without even talking to you, without them doing their due diligence, without even them just remotely trying to contact you, and that's not fair. Before I even realize, before any DNA test come back, anything has been proven, I'm already paying her. And you took my money just that easy, and I bet you come hell or high water, it's hard as hell to get your money back if it finds out that that's not your child.
That's the problem right there. That's that happened to me. Just soon, my cousin them told her it might be me when the boy was like 9. They claimed they sent some paperwork to an address I didn't live at no more. And since I didn't respond to the paperwork, the mail, they started taking money out my check. You were there? You went to court with me?
without DNA?
Without DNA, yeah. I took DNA test after the fact.
one of the things that they definitely need to fix with the child support system is the way they try to find you. They do all these random mass mailing out to say, hey, we tried to find you, but they can just use your social security number to track your check down and automatically start garnishing your check. 95% of the time, the address that's on that check stub is your most current address where you actually live, because you're not going to let that go, not checked or in default, because you don't want to have no misunderstandings about your money. So the same way they found your money and could garnish you, they could find you if they really wanted to. But it goes back to one simple thing. They didn't really try to find you. They just really wanted to try to find your money.
Everything should be certified mail. All that's supposed to be certified mail. Period, point blank.
Okay, Markia, we didn't have a chance to really ask you about it or get into it. Tell us a little bit about your situation. What's going on with you? Let us know why you feel so passionate about this child support issue.
Ooh. My thing is, and my situation is kind of a little bit different. I jumped into a relationship not really knowing him like that. And that's my fault. It's a lesson learned. But still, like I said before, it shouldn't matter where the income is coming from. If you got a penis and you lay down with a female and make a baby, then you should be able to, the female, if she, you know what I'm saying, he should be able to get child support. My thing is he gets SSI, so he's not, apparently not able to, hasn't been able to work. So the government is not, or will not, take anything from him because he's considered disabled.
So he found a loophole.
It shouldn't matter. He made a baby.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I feel like it shouldn't matter. He made a baby. He need to help me take care of it. I mean, it's hard.
He ain't that disabled.
It's hard for two parents to take care of a child. One,
right,
it's even harder. Diapers is what? 15. Depending on what kind and what brand. Diapers, a case of diapers is almost like $40. That's just for Pampers. You're not even gonna talk about formula. Granted, he's about to be off the formula complete because he's about to be one. But one can of formula is $15 a can. And that's a small can.
Yeah. Plus, if he's on disability, no matter what the disability is, if they could leave, because if a regular guy is walking around, yeah, you can walk, whatever, what's not wrong with you, but you're still leaving a man with $20, $0, as Dave said. So what's the difference? I don't understand.
I don't get it. I mean, I said, keep it 20 and get a case of diapers. Like for me, the kind that I get, the brand that I get, I can get a case of diapers for 15. So you give me 20, that's a case of diapers for a month, and I'm good.
The problem with the whole system is, and I just want to go back to what Dave said about how they don't care about the kids. If you have your case originally in one state and it get moved to another state, do you think that Florida is going to let Georgia collect all the money and not get anything from it? When they switch out the cases, I'm pretty sure they have some type of agreement where they say, okay, we're going to collect this money, but we're going to need for you guys to give me 10% of the funds, because everything that they collect in child support does not go directly to the people who's collecting the child support. If they're collecting maybe $700 a month out of your check, the woman is not going to be receiving a check for $700, because they're going to get stuff off top of it. Administrative fees, people's salaries got to get paid. They hold a little sum in escrow. So just remember, it's definitely not about the kids. It's about them trying to make money, period.
I told the guy the other day, I talked to the guy on the phone. He asked me, how much y'all owe Georgia? I talked to people in Florida who took the case out. I owe Florida somehow I owe Georgia about $3,000 more dollars. And he told me that ain't right. I got to look into this. But Georgia tacked on $3,000 onto my case.
But to show you that the system don't really give a fuck about the kids. When my child support payment was shut down because he stopped working to avoid paying child support. The system realized, okay, you have nothing for me to take. I never got a letter. It just so happened that me and him communicate, and that's how I know what was going on. They never once sent a letter to say, excuse me, you're not going to get anything else because blah, blah, blah. They just forget you exist. I have yet to get a letter from the system saying anything. If I didn't talk to him, I wouldn't know what's going on. So how much do they really care about the kids?
But see, the thing is, with locking them up, the child's still not going to get child support because he locked up.
Are taking the license and everything else. You bury him so deep in a hole, he can't come out of it.
Wait, I was this to at some point, no offense, it got to be a cutoff because my uncle died in his 60s. His kids was all in their 30s when he passed. All of them in their 30s when he passed. And they still got to him for child support. He didn't have a license. Uncle had a license in the 70s or the 80s. Not one license. But all because of child support. At some point, you got to just talk to the game and say, listen, my kid's 30 years old. It's too late. Ain't nothing to do about this. It's too late.
Now, when it comes to this child support, what I had to learn was that child support pays judges' salaries. Child support is where they draw from the judges' bonuses and things of that nature. So when you get a judge, they are more apt to place an order for child support because they know directly those funds are coming, going to contribute directly to their salary, directly to their bonuses and things of that nature. And like I said earlier, sometimes if you're paying a woman $700 a month or paying a man $700 a month in child support, that doesn't mean you're going to get the full $700. And I've had cases where women have said that I know for a fact that he made the payment, but I still haven't received any money. He made the payment 2 months ago. So before you receive anything, it's held up somewhere being used for their benefits and not yours.
Mm-hmm. Because I spoke to my ex the other day and he said he paid them some money. I've yet to hear from them. So the money's sitting in the system right now.
You got a card, caller?
Huh?
You got the card?
I got the card, but if he mentioned that he put money, I wouldn't even know because they don't notify you of anything.
Well, they don't notify you. It just be on the card.
Yeah, but when you go so long with nothing on the card, you kind of don't check with the card no more. So, how many women are sitting there thinking they have no money and don't realize there's money on it?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
All right, Carlotta, let me ask you, in a perfect world, whether it be realistic, idealistic, or just flat out wishful thinking, what would you like to see changed in the child support system? I mean, we're going to kind of wrap the show up and kind of get everybody's final thoughts. I don't know if my kid's still with us, but we're going to try. If not, we appreciate having her on the show. But let's wrap it up. Give me your final thoughts on child support, Carlotta.
Yeah, they need to change the system where you recalculate these percentages, how you come up with these numbers of how much these people owe. I understand how much you say they owe from their check, but when you add on old money with current money, that's too much. You're killing people. That's like the mob coming in and saying, we're going to charge you 99% interest rate. That's outrageous. And they need to also do something about these young girls that are running around and using the system to punish guys. You're laying down with somebody you really don't know, and then you try 5 different names, find one, and then all of a sudden you got him on child support. You got 4 or 5 guys paying you child support. You're not working. They're the ones that the system is really benefiting. So they need to cut down on all these people that are abusing the system.
I always say the jump on top of that. She when they calculate your money, can they calculate my money after taxes, please? God, that's the money I really make. I don't even know what to start with, how to fix it. I don't know. I go back to, if you go stick me something through mail, it need to be certified. You need to also figure out because I didn't know this until I got older, that when she went in and told all her expenses that she's only making so much money, she lied, straight lied. But I ain't know that until years later. So they need to have proof that what they saying is true on court documentation. You know what I'm saying? She just straight lied in court. Say her family only bringing in $1,000 a month. So they penalize me for that. They got me for a lot of stuff, man. They got to sit here and just, oh yeah, nothing they do is when a woman, I say this here, when a woman, anybody file for child support, automatically joint custody should be added into that. It should be factored in because the parent or whoever should be able to see the child whenever. They can't just say, here go money, but she also can control when you can and can't see the kid. Whatever side is on. So it should just fact that in automatically. It should be put something in the place where, you know, I get a kid every other weekend or every other summer. Something got to be put in place. It just can't be one side that one part walk away with every damn thing. They got to do something else about that too. And stop suspending people's license and all that crap. It like I said, it hinders folks. You know what I mean? It really does. You already go take the tax. File for tax, you go take the tax money. You take money out my check as it is. You get the money go come to you. Stop trying to, you know, I need to suspend people's license. That don't make no sense at all. I would say retarded, but I'm trying to stop saying that word.
Because reality is, how many men are going to be motivated to keep working if you're coming home with $20 a week and you know at the end of the year you're not even getting a tax return?
And getting tax back. That shit hurt.
Why would they keep working? So of course they're going to dodge the system.
Because whatever state you may be in, let's say Florida, when I found out I had a kid, they told me I owed back child support, which was automatically $12,000. Mm-hmm. I ain't know I had a kid. She didn't even know he was mine.
And you can't.
I'm a granddaddy now.
You can't take the word of a woman that's coming in angry. You can't just let them just make up numbers and you write it down and say it's fact.
As I said earlier, I just think when it comes to the system, the same way we control everything, the same way you can determine whether you could use certain debit cards at certain places, like at gas stations. Some pumps won't take it because it's a prepaid card, because it's this type of card, because it's that type of card. It's the same way I think that the card should be used for child support. If you go try to purchase something that's not within the legal ramifications or the list that has been set forth by some type of government agency, I just think it shouldn't process, it shouldn't go through. I just really believe that.
Yeah, and they can't. As I said with my job, you can only use it in a medical environment. If you use it somewhere else, they will send you a letter saying you need to bring a receipt to prove it. If you can't prove it, you have to pay it back. So if they can do it, right, and that's how they do us with the job card. So if you're swiping this card in a nail salon, you know, because I don't think child support should be paid to take your 10-year-old to get their nails done. So it shouldn't be used in a nail salon at all. Right? Yep, it should not be used up in the casino.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. I want to thank everybody that participated on the show today on this very controversial topic, this very divisive topic, child support, the unforeseen damage that it's doing inside of our households, inside of our communities. I want to thank Dave. I want to thank Makia. I want to thank Carlotta. If you would like to listen to this podcast and any of our past podcasts and any of our future podcasts, please go to therandomselect.com. That's therandomselect.com, where you will find incredible podcasts, insightful blogs. Carlotta's doing a lot of writing and a lot of heavy lifting on the blog, so please support. You will find us everywhere that you will find podcasts. We're everywhere on social media. We're on Google Play Music. We're on iTunes Radios. We're on Stitcher. We're on Blueberry. We're on iTunes. So anywhere that you choose to listen to a podcast, we are there. We are on Facebook at Random Select. And we're on YouTube. Just type in the Random Select Podcast. Find us wherever you find us. Please subscribe. Please support. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Random Select. With that being said, the Random Select is out.
You have been listening to Random Select. Thank you. Goodbye.